like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Ooh, what's up, guys? Welcome to this very special edition of a Funko Popcast. It's your boy, the birthday boy, DK Wrestler.
And MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, we got a lot to talk about as terms to Funko Pop announcements because, damn, there probably has been more Funko Pop announcements in the last 2 weeks than there probably has been in the entire month of April. Of course, all the announcements we will be talking about will be from May 14th up until the Funko Shop drop on May 27th. So today's podcast, actually, we will not be having the usual Quentin Quarantino and Pandem news segments because of the amount of Funko Pop announcements there are for this podcast. Plus, we got our top 10 Funko Pops of May 2020 for this podcast. So it's going to be a great podcast for not only what is day 5 of our 5 days of content this week on the channel, but our 40th episode of a Funko Popcast. So without further ado, let's kick off. May 14th, we have the highly anticipated and rumored announcement of X-Men 20th Anniversary Pops, which this set has common pops of Storm, Mystique, Wolverine, Professor X, Magneto, Logan, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Beast, Rogue, and Nightcrawler, with exclusive pops of a metallic Mystique that will be exclusive to Target and a young Magneto that will be exclusive to Walmart. And those are expected to release as early as August 2020, followed by on the same day on May 14th, we have pops for the movie What About Bob, in which there is 3 variants of the same character of Bob Wiley, which one of them will be a Walmart exclusive, which is also going to be released as early as August 2020. On May 15th, there was a Funko Shop drop of a new variant of TJ for the Fantastic Plastic lineup, obviously released that day at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST on the Funko Shop, in which, if you're wondering if you can get this currently, you can't because it did sell out the same day, which I think is the second time now that a Fantastic Plastic Pop has sold out the day it was released. On that same day, on the 15th, Box Lunch had announced their own exclusive Pop and Tea bundle of a green Velociraptor from the Jurassic Park lineup, in which that is available now, except the fact that I think it's sold out twice, and I don't think it's like up for order now. You have to wait for whenever a new stock happens for that, but it is technically available now. May 16th, GameStop had announced their own exclusive of a metallic variant of the Joker from the 1989 Batman, in which that's available for pre-order now, but will not ship out or be in stores until as early as August 2020. Skipping over to May 21st, because we're talking non-Halloween announcements, there was a Funko Shop drop of a 10-inch Notorious B.I.G. with the crown, in which that is still up for order at the Funko Shop website if you guys wanted to order that. That was available May 21st, like I said, at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST. And last but not least for this part of the podcast, Funko had announced for what they're saying for the Pop Heroes lineup. It is Frontline Heroes Workers, which we have 2 nurses and 2 doctors, in which they are being labeled as male 1, male 2, female 1, and female 2. Those are available for pre-order now, but will ship out as early as October 2020. X-Men 20th Anniversary Pops, these look awesome. Like, I can't believe how great these look. Obviously, I would have to say the most hyped one out of this set is the Wolverine with his jacket. That's actually how I remember Wolverine. I know a lot of people remember Wolverine with like the classic yellow and black and blue attire. But when I remember seeing X-Men when I was a kid, I remember Wolverine with this exact attire. It's so cool because I actually have the action figure of this for when the movie came out. So it's somewhere in like my closet or something. I also like the Professor X. That looks good too. Magneto's all right. I mean, obviously this is Magneto from the movie, but I do prefer the comic version that was like purple and red better than this version. Mystique is absolutely awesome. That's probably my second favorite out of basically this whole set. I love the Mystique. Storm is absolutely awesome too. I think Storm would be awesome eventually to be a glow in the dark exclusive pop, maybe for San Diego Comic Con, maybe just like a normal, like let's say Hot Topic or Box Lunch exclusive. The one I don't like out of this set is the Cyclops, just because kind of like the laser eyes he has, you actually see the eyes behind it, which I'm not really a fan of that. So I kind of prefer the original comic one better. Jean Grey looks awesome. I think this is for X-Men The Last Stand, which is like the third movie out of the three. Beast is awesome. He looks very cool. Rogue is also awesome. And Nightcrawler, in my opinion, he looks cool, but I know a lot of people aren't hyped for this version of Nightcrawler. They feel like this version is meh, and they hope that there will be like some sort of comic version of Nightcrawler coming out very soon. I find it a little bit weird to make Mystique metallic, in my opinion. I mean, I can see it in the sense of like more of the darker color scale pieces of being metallic. I mean, actually, what I can see in the glam shot being metallic is the eyes and the hair. It's all right, but I think for an exclusive, like I would have said a couple minutes ago, I'd rather see a glow in the dark Storm over a metallic Mystique. And young Magneto's all right. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but I mean, I like the comic version of Magneto better, and I think I like the common Magneto for this set better than this one that's there. What about Bob? Which I know already without even knowing about the movie, even though I did research on it, that this is Bill Murray who plays this character. I don't know what the Walmart exclusive is all about. Like, it looks like it's wearing like some sort of life preserver and it's like all tied up. But I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I could be wrong. Then the Fantastic Plastic Pop of TJ. I like this pop because of the colors. But like I actually said in, I think it was Tuesday's video, the SDCC prediction video, I think that this would look better as a glow in the dark pop. And I think it will end up being some sort of con exclusive pop in the future, possibly SDCC because of how close it is, but it could be New York Comic Con or a Comic Con later on down the line. But overall, this looks pretty cool. Then the Pop and Tea bundle for Jurassic Park. The pop is all right. I mean, I don't know. It kind of feels weird to have this random green velociraptor, but I like the box because it's like the velociraptor in the cage and you can see the eye like looking at it. That's cool. That's probably the best thing about this. The t-shirt is cool, but they kind of pulled what they did with the Yu-Gi-Oh Pop and Tea bundle is that they put this like very small logo on like the front part of the t-shirt, but they put what seems to be or what should be like the actual front part on the back where they put the bigger picture there, which it's all right, but I definitely think the best part of this is the box for sure. The metallic Joker, I don't really know kind of like the point of making this metallic. I think just buying the common and possibly if you ordered from Chalice Collectibles or like Shumi and all that, they've been doing like the Chase and Common bundles, which I'd be fine just getting those. Like, do I really need the metallic version? Unless you're collecting the whole like kind of Joker lineup or whatever, then get it. But like if you're just looking for one Joker, I don't think this would be the one. Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. It's all right. I mean, this is kind of one of those pops that like I don't think it really should have been a 10-inch. I mean, I think 10 inches should be reserved for different Funko Pops, and I don't think Biggie Smalls was one of them. But like I keep saying in past podcasts, 10-inch pops, they bring out more detail that a normal 3.75 or 4-inch pop wouldn't be able to. And then the Frontline Heroes pops, which there is so much mixed reaction from the Funko fanatics over this pop because of the fact that first, like the good part obviously is like, wow, they're actually making pops for doctors and everyone that's helping out with the current pandemic situation. But at the same time, they're only showcasing the doctors and nurses. I understand on Funko's perspective of making these that the doctors and the nurses are the ones that are basically actually curing COVID-19. But there's more than just doctors and nurses that are doing their part. Like, where are the grocery clerk pops? Where are fast food restaurant workers? You know what I mean? Like, there's more than just doctors that are doing their part to help out everything and keep everything going and helping everyone out. Like I said, I understand that they did the doctors, but I think if they were to do this lineup, they need to do more of them than just this. It's kind of like why the Bushfire Heroes pop was a little bit better is because one, all of the proceeds went towards Australia for this pop, or for that pop, I should say. But for this, what Funko had done is they made an advance donation of, I think, $250,000 US. But then now, you know that people are going to buy these and they're going to make a profit off of this. However, I think Hot Topic and Box Lunch, they're actually going to be donating all of the proceeds to global giving. And I think Amazon, instead of selling them for the usual, I think it's $11 US, they're selling them for $6.
Wow.
So they're not making really a profit off of it. There's that. I don't know what the other stores are planning to do at this moment.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that for sure, but I feel like because it does say like frontline heroes, right? So it doesn't like if it said like essential workers, then I could see it being like where they'd add like people who are grocery store clerks and stuff like that. Anyone who works in anything essential. But I don't know. I do like these pops. I think it's good to kind of raise awareness a little bit. Obviously, everyone pretty much knows what's going on at this point. But yeah, it's just a cool idea. I like these. I could definitely see where the mixed reactions come from for sure. The 10-inch biggie, yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about this. It's kind of like you said, like now that it's 10-inch, I guess you could see like more of the details on the jacket and his chain and obviously the crown. Yeah, it's one that I don't really think needed to be a 10-inch because there's already like what is it? There's like 4 Biggie Pops now, so
Yeah, something like that.
then the metallic Joker, I actually like this. I think it looks pretty cool. Metallic. I don't think it needs to be metallic, that's for sure. But I don't know. It could be just my purple bias again, where anything that's purple just stands out to me. But I do like it a lot. Now, the Jurassic Park Pop and Tea bundle, I will go out saying right now that I believe this is, in my opinion, the worst Pop and Tea bundle to be released so far. I don't like this one at all. The box is all right at best. The Pop, it looks like a dollar store toy that you got of a dinosaur and the paint started coming off of it. And then the t-shirt, it's backwards, like you said. So yeah, this is just, it's not good at all. Then the Fantastic Plastic TJ, that his name is, right?
Yeah.
This one's really cool. Again, it could just be the purple bias that I have, but these colors really do go nice together. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to say about it, though. Detail's pretty good. The What About Bob Pops. These are pretty cool. I believe I have seen this movie because the Walmart exclusive one and the middle one really stand out to me. So I believe when I was young, I seen this movie. But it's like I always say with these Bill Murray pops is that you can always just tell with Funko that they're Bill Murray pops, and I love it. Now on to the X-Men pops. These are all really great. I love all of these. I might even collect this whole set. I love the X-Men franchise, and yeah, they definitely nailed it with these ones. Like you said, a lot of people remember Wolverine in the like the comic book version where he's got the yellow and blue, but this is a cool version of Wolverine. The other one with the white like wife beater in the jeans, I really like that one a lot. That's like one of my favorite costumes for Wolverine is when he's just kind of in that casual wear. So the Target exclusive metallic Mystique, I actually really like this one, and I honestly think it's the best one out of the set. Normally I don't like metallic pops, but this one looks really good. Magneto, the young Magneto, the Walmart exclusive, the helmet has a lot of really nice detail, but besides that, the pop is pretty meh. The Beast looks really cool. I really like how they have him with that attire. And Nightcrawler, I actually think looks pretty dope as well. The rest of the set it's all right. That's for sure. I really like this set, and I probably plan on getting all of them.
All right, so now we are moving on to the Funkoween in May announcements, which if you obviously don't know, which you should, all last week from May 18th to May 22nd, Funko had announced every announcement being a Halloween pop, besides obviously the Notorious B.I.G. and Frontline Heroes that we had talked about, in which a lot of these are pretty cool. These range from being released as early as July to being released as early as October 2020. Just thought I'd let everyone know that so I don't have to keep repeating different dates for that, since a lot of them are the same. Starting off May 18th, Funko had announced a 10-inch variant of Chucky, followed by on May 19th, Caden's favorite day, we have announced for the movie Zombieland, we have 5 pops in this set, which we have Tallahassee, Wichita, Columbus, and Bill Murray with his own 1 in 6 chase. Then announced on the same day, we have a new wave, and it was highly rumored and anticipated, of Edward Scissorhands, which we have common pops of Edward in his dress clothes, Kim Boggs, Pop Deluxe of Edward and the Dino Shrub, We have just a normal Edward Scissorhands, a more updated version from the original one. And we have exclusive pops of Edward Scissorhands with the face mask that is exclusive to Books a Million. And we have Edward with the Kirigami, which is exclusive to Walmart. Then announced on May 20th, Halloween Minions Pops, in which this set we have Mummy Stewart, I totally botched the name on that one, but I think I wrote Stewart twice. I think it's I think Stewart is the bride. I'll figure out the name after. But anyway, so we got a mummy, we got a bride. One of them is Stewart. Let's just say that. Then we got Frank and Bob, Creature Mel, and we have a Walgreens exclusive, Dave Acula. Announced on that same day on the 20th, we have pops for the movie Corpse Bride, which we have Victor Van Dort with his own dog, which I forget the name of the dog, but it doesn't say on the box. And we have Emily. Then on the same day also, Funko had re-announced the Marvel Zombies lineup with more of a cleaner glam shot to them. Plus a new pop was announced for this lineup, which is what we're talking about right now, which is a Zombie Silver Surfer, and that will be exclusive to Hot Topic. Then on May 21st, we have Halloween Disney Pops, as we have a Halloween Mickey Mouse and a Halloween Minnie Mouse. Announced on the same day, we have a new set of the Haunted Mansion Pops, which we have Constance Hatchaway with their own 1 in 6 chase, and Alexander Nitrokoff with his own 1 in 6 chase. We have Maid, and we have a Pop Deluxe of Victor Geist with the organ. That will be a Disney Parks exclusive. And announced on the same day, a new wave of Nightmare Before Christmas Pops, which we have Jack Skellington with a scary face, Sandy Claus, Sally Sewing, a mayor with his own 1 in 6 chase. We have a 10-inch Jack Skellington with 0. We have a Walgreens exclusive glow-in-the-dark vampire Jack. Then we got ourselves some Artist Series Pops, which for those that might not know, that's basically the Futura version for Disney, which we have Artist Series Jack Skellington. One is more of a purple color, but then one is more of a black color, and that will be a Hot Topic exclusive. Then we have a Pop Deluxe of Oogie Boogie with the spin wheel that will be glow in the dark, and it will be a box lunch exclusive. Then last but not least, for that set, we have a Diamond Collection Oogie Boogie, in which that will be exclusive to Hot Topic. Then we got more pops for the Hocus Pocus lineup, which is basically the same main characters of Mary, Winifred, and Sarah, in which all three of them are flying, in which you can get them separately, or you can get them in an exclusive 3-pack exclusive to Books a Million. Then on May 22nd, we have more Monsters Pops for the Universal Monsters lineup, in which we have a new variant of Invisible Man with book, and we have a glow-in-the-dark variant of the Frankenstein with flower, which will both be exclusive to Walgreens. More Stephen King Pops get announced, as we have Stephen King with his dog Molly, and we have Stephen King with the balloon, in which Stephen King with Molly Pop will be exclusive to Books a Million, and the Stephen King with Balloon will be exclusive to FYE. Then last but not least, for the entire Funkoween in May announcements from the Beetlejuice lineup, we have transformed variants of both Barbara and Adam. The 10-inch Chucky, I like this being a 10-inch in the sense that it seems more realistic, because it would almost be like the size of the actual Chucky doll. Then we got Zombieland Pops, which the most hyped pop I find that a lot of people really like is the Bill Murray Pops, which I don't blame them. Obviously, everyone who has seen Zombieland knows the part of Tallahassee saying, Bill effing Murray, and just being all excited for that. For the Bill Murray Pops, though, I kind of feel it goes both ways of whether you want to call it a horrible chase or a good chase, because the horrible part is obviously because, one has long hair, one doesn't have long hair. But the good part is that some people like myself would know Bill Murray having short hair and not really remembering him with long hair, unless obviously we talk about those What About Bob Pops like we did a few minutes ago. So in that sense, I do like the chase better than the common. And a little known fact, the Bill Murray Pops actually hit the 1,000 mark for the Pop Movies lineup. So it is Pop Movies number 1,000. So now that's TV, and its movies that have hit the 1,000 mark, there was a little bit of bad hype with Tallahassee because everyone wants him with the Twinkies, which it's totally kind of understandable because he's known for wanting the Twinkies in the movie. But I feel like if they were to do that, they're going to save it for a con exclusive. They can use the license for Twinkies because they have the license for Hostess and they keep making, the pops for that. So they can probably do Tallahassee with Twinkies without even having any licensor problems. The Edward Scissorhand pops are great. I love Edward with his dress shirt. That's awesome. Kim looks cool, but definitely the best pop out of all of these has to be the Pop Deluxe with the Dino Shrub. I think that is amazing. Just the way that Edward's face is. I mean, realistically, it's like the same figure from just the dress shirt, but you add the Dino Shrub, which I'm fine with getting that and the Dino Shrub than like getting a dress shirt version that's by itself. The face mask one is pretty cool. And then the Kirigami version is absolutely awesome too, which, yeah, like I said, best one by far, Edward with the Dino Shrub. The Minions pops, they're all right. Now, as I'm thinking about it, I think the bride is Kevin. Now, as I think about it, I think that's Kevin, and then Stuart is the mummy. I could be wrong, though. Unanswered questions for whenever we do that segment next time. But I think the best one actually out of these is the Dave Acula. I think that looks really cool, honestly. Corpse Bride, so hyped. Like, not just personally, but it is probably one of the most hyped pops from the Funkoween announcements. And I think the Emily looks absolutely amazing with the detail, especially they use the white eyes. That's cool. And then you got the 2-for-1 deal with Victor. That's also cool. The zombie Silver Surfer, that is cool in a way because also like you don't really see pops, with their head detached, I should say, from the pop's body, which is cool. It's actually holding its own head. Minnie and Mickey Mouse, these are all right. I mean, of course, they're going to make Halloween pops. They've already done probably like 5 different Christmas versions of both these characters. So I think it's time to move on to a different holiday version. The Haunted Mansion pops. Now, when I first looked at the chases for the Alexander one, I mean, I guess it's cool that like they have like the dynamite, but at the same time, I think especially the Constance Hatchaway one is like the worst chase so far of 2020, or at least one of the worst. I mean, there's probably some sort of significance for the movie in which people probably like this chase, but to me, I find all they did with the chase is just add like half an inch to it, make it half an inch taller. That's how I see it. And then we got the Maid, which I don't really understand about the Maid. And then I guess the Disney Parks exclusive is really cool, actually, in my opinion. Nightmare Before Christmas pops. Holy gefilte fish. Like, this is crazy awesome with the new Nightmare Before Christmas pops we got here. They finally made a mayor after so long, like a new one, and it is awesome. However, a lot of people, oh my God, they made the chase version with the scary face. And then, like, at first when I looked at these, so it was cool that, like, both the mayors, the chase and the common, are holding different objects. Like, you got the megaphone for one, and then you got, like, kind of like the diagram in the other. And people thought that was going to be the only way you get double faces. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's just the presentation to make you think that that's the only way you can get the scary face. Because if you look on the Funko app and see those glam shots, you can actually see on the common one, they actually have the back half of the head being white, which makes me think that there is a face on the other side. It's just now the matter of would you rather have the megaphone or the diagram? So in that sense, I think the common is better because I'd rather have him with the megaphone. But I understand that people would like the chase because of the potential fact that the mayor could have no face behind the head. But if that's the case, the chase would be one of the best chases of the year so far. And then Sally Sewing is awesome. I don't really see the point of another Sandy Claus because we just got one last year from the Disney Treasures box, which it basically just has the Santa hat. That's really the only difference. And the Scary Face Jack is awesome. The 10-inch Jack Skellington with Zero is awesome for the fact that you get a 10-inch Jack, but technically, because it's a 2-for-1, I could imagine that Zero would actually be your normal 3.75-inch pop because of the actual size comparison between the normal size pop and a 10-inch pop. So that's a little cool, in my opinion. The Artist Series pops, Those are pretty cool. I kind of like the Hot Topic exclusive one better just because it brings out like the yellow color in, I assume it's supposed to be snow for what that little design is. But I do like the common because it does show off the purple more, but I feel like also the purple stands out more in the Hot Topic exclusive one. Oogie Boogie with spin wheel is awesome. In this glam shot, it shows that it's going to be Oogie Boogie and the dice that glows in the dark, but I've seen other photos where it's advertising that the spin wheel also glows in the dark, being the yellow and the blue part, which I can't wait to see how that is once I see it in person. But I don't think that I'm going to be disappointed with seeing this pop because, as history shows, Box Lunch usually has amazing glow in the dark pops. The Diamond Collection, Oogie Boogie, I kind of see why they did this, but I kind of don't see why they did this. But I mean, I guess it's all right. It's not the best, but it's not the worst Diamond Collection pop. I don't really have to say anything about Hocus Pocus. You know, Books a Million, they're doing the same thing as Barnes and Noble. Let's make 3 commons. And then just like, all right, let's take the 3 commons, put them in the 3-pack, and, you know, it'll save the customer only $5. It's like, come on. Either make the 3-pack or just make a freaking common, single pops. The Monsters pops, they're all right. Stephen King, now, I always like to think like each Stephen King pop is related to a movie, which I originally thought that the bloodied version that was Barnes & Noble exclusive was It, but clearly this one is meant for It, as in the FYE one, because he's holding the balloon that you would see in the movie, and now it makes me think that probably the Barnes & Noble version is for, I think, the movie Carrie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The Books a Million, I thought was supposed to be like for either like Pet Cemetery, which I don't think that'd be the case because that's mostly cats, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while. I thought possibly this would be for Cujo because I know that has a dog in it. That's basically one of the main things. But this is actually, I think, Stephen King's actual real life dog that he owns named Molly. So that's how this is made. And I can't wait to actually see more I would like to see Stephen King pops for each of his books. I think, like, if they keep the license, they as in Funko, I think they could pull that off. Like, especially if there is eventually a Stephen King pop that is related to the Green Mile in some sort of ways, I will 100% buy that because the Green Mile was an awesome movie, and I actually do own the book, and that's also great. And then Beetlejuice. A lot of people really wanted more Beetlejuice pops. I know we had the what was it, the Dave's Inferno Pop Town last year, if I'm not mistaken. That was Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And that was all right. There was some flaws with that. But these look cool in a sense. The Atom Transformed is absolutely amazing because the fingertips are eyeballs, which is awesome. And the whole attire of that and the face is awesome. I kind of feel Barbara is really awkward. Just having like, obviously it's understandable, like it's supposed to be eyes for that scene, but they have like your normal pop eyes. And it's just one of those cases where pop eyes look so weird on this pop. But overall, the detail with like the tongue and the teeth and how the face is kind of like lifted so far up is really cool. The eyes just makes this so awkward though.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Like them being Popeyes, Louisiana Fast.
Not a sponsor, by the way.
It definitely does make it a little awkward. But that being said, I think that pop looks so cool. It's obviously 2 parts of the movie, I guess, in a sense, that are super memorable. So it's cool to see that. And yeah, the Atom does look cool with the eyes. The Stephen King pops, they're all right. I like the idea of having different ones, I guess, but I kind of want to see some more authors and not just see Stephen King over and over again for the most part. The Monsters pops, I think these are pretty cool. The glow-in-the-dark Frankenstein will be neat, but I really like the Invisible Man. I feel like he's so super underrated, so seeing that pop is good for sure. Then the Hocus Pocus pops, yeah, that's there's nothing that I need to say about them. The Diamond Collection Oogie Boogie is a weird one, like you said, but yeah, there's definitely been worse. Then the Box Lunch one, that will be cool. If the whole thing is glow in the dark, like you said, with the yellow and the blue, that will be wicked. But at the same time, I feel like only Oogie Boogie and the dice need to be glow in the dark because it'll really make it pop more than if like the whole thing was glow in the dark. But I guess we'll see and we'll find out. The artist Jack Skellingtons, these are all right. I do agree that the black one is kind of a little bit cooler. It's just a little more clean, I guess. The 10-inch one looks wicked. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing you were saying, where you get like a normal size pop for Zero, whereas with the normal Zero pop, it's obviously like a smaller figure than a normal size pop. So getting a big one is kind of cool. The mayor is wicked. Hopefully, like you said, both faces are on each one. That'd be super cool. I definitely do like the common better than the chase. The Haunted Mansion Pops, these are all right. The Disney Parks exclusive one is really cool, where he's sitting on the organ, that's for sure. The chase forms here are just ridiculous. Those are literally the worst chases I've ever seen. I would agree that the Dynamite one is a little better just because there's a little bit more going on with it, but they literally suck. Not good at all, in my opinion. The Minnie and Mickey, I really like these. I think the orange pops so hard on the black, white, and gray, and I would probably consider picking these ones up because I think they look really nice. The Silver Surfer is really cool as well. I love the idea that his head is detached, and this is definitely my favorite zombie pop from the Marvel series. I think it's really cool. The Corpse Bride pops, of course, are super nice. I'll probably end up buying these just because there's going to be a lot of hype for them, and they do look really good. The Minions pops, these are cute. I kind of like them. I think they're some of the best Minion pops that have been out so far. And yeah, the what did you call him? The Dave Dracula or was
Dave
Dave
Acula.
Acula? Okay, yeah, that one definitely is pretty cool. I like that. The Edward Scissorhand pops are fire. These look so good. And yeah, obviously that one with the dino hedge is just so awesome. I remember that scene so vividly, even though I haven't seen the movie in probably, oh, it must be pushing 15 years for sure. Zombieland pops, yeah, definitely the Chase Bill Murray's the best one. Tallahassee, it would be cool to see a Twinkie in his hand, and I don't even think they would need the licensing for that because they don't have to put any branding on it. It could literally just be a little yellow stick in his hand and make it look like a Twinkie, and that'd be perfect. And then lastly, the 10-inch Chucky. I really like this. Just like you said, it makes it look more realistic to the real life size that they would be slash are. This looks sweet, and I actually do plan on getting this.
All right, so that's the end of the Funkoween in May announcements, but we're going to talk about the last bit of non-Funkoween announcements that were announced this past week, starting on Tuesday, May 26th. Entertainment Earth had announced their own exclusive Funko 2-pack of Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. That is available for pre-order now, and it's expected to release as early as June 2020. Then Funko had announced some GameStop exclusive Star Wars games pops, in which we have pops of Shadow Trooper, Hooded Yoda, Darth Revan, and Darth Malik, which, like I said, these will be EB Games / GameStop exclusive pops available for pre-order now, but are expected to release as early as either July or August 2020. Then GameStop had announced various exclusive pops from different video games, in which we have Kratos, a newer version from God of War, Joel from The Last of Us, the Hunter from Bloodborne, and we have Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. I think that's how it's pronounced. All those are expected to release as early as August 2020. And then last but not least, for this podcast, we will talk about the Funko Shop drop for May 27th. For the Pop Myths lineup, it is the 6-inch Kraken, which did sell out in less than 5 minutes. So you can't get it on the Funko Shop. You probably can order it, as far as I know, from Pop Culture, but as this gets released, maybe it's sold out, maybe it's not. But the Spider-Man 2-pack, now, when I first looked at the photo, I'd only seen like the pops itself. I didn't see the box. I didn't see the glam shot. And I thought, this was stupid. Like, what the hell? Why is there 2 Spider-Mans? And then I seen the glam shot that Entertainment Earth posted, and I'm like, oh my God, they're capturing the 60s scene that ended up being a meme like 10 years ago. And this is absolutely awesome. Oh my God. And then I'm like, all right, I appreciate how sweet that this is and how Funko's taking advantage of this. And then I look at the box. The box is also awesome because in the inside of the box, they actually have like the actual scene where I think it's the NYPD truck, and you got like the crates in the exact scene, and they're positioned in the box as exact the same for the scene. And then on the back of the box, there is like the 2 pops and a little picture of the actual scene, and it shows like Spider-Man 60s animation. With the presentation of the box, it's such a great set, and this is something that can be accepted as both in box or out of box. The Star Wars games pops. Now, I know that they said Star Wars games because these come from various games. If I'm not mistaken, the Shadow Trooper comes from the Force Unleashed video game, the Hooded Yoda comes from the Battlefront video game, and Darth Revan and Darth Malak come from the OG, like, original Xbox Knights of the Old Republic video game, which is absolutely awesome. I do like all these pops in some sort of way. Like the Shadow Trooper, the blue stands out so good with this black. Like I can't get enough of it. It's definitely one of the best Trooper pops that Funko have made. Yoda is pretty cool in a way. Darth Revan is definitely the best one out of these four. The hype is real with it. People love this pop. I love the way it looks, and especially because Darth Revan has his two lightsabers. One is red and one is purple, and just overall looks nice. The Darth Malak is all right, but I feel like even if they copied kind of like the unmasked Darth Vader look, it kind of would look more like Darth Malak than what this looks like. But it's still got a lot of hype, and it's still got a lot of cool detail with this attire. Then we got the GameStop exclusive pop. So Kratos. So this is from, I think, the more movie version that was put into the game. The one that kind of looks like Braun Strowman mixed with Triple H that we got going on here. This looks pretty cool. It's got a lot of detail. This is that weird midpoint of glam shot and concept art. So I can't wait to see what it looks like in person. Then Joel from The Last of Us. Not bad. I like the blood splatter on the face, but that's basically about it. And maybe the gun, but that's, like I said, about it. Then we got the Hunter, which I have no idea about this character or the video game Bloodborne, but I guess this is all right. And then this character from the ghost of whatever name I probably can't pronounce, it's all right. I kind of like the weird blood splatter going on in his face and kind of like the blood that's on his sword. Kraken seems to be, if it can sell out in like less than 5 minutes, is so far the most popular myths lineup for pops. And I think that this is really cool. This did kind of get like not leaked, but Funko had a news article on like their local like newspaper, and someone actually showed off the Kraken pop before it was announced and released. So people kind of knew already about this pop, but it's still so cool. It's got like a tiny boat it's crushing, and even the detail with like the tentacles is really nice too. And even the overall pop, because I have seen photos of the actual pop, because Funko HQ and Hollywood, if anyone hasn't heard yet, they're actually doing curbside pickup now for Funko Pops. So there have been people who've already done that and that have already like gotten the pop, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, the Kraken is awesome. It looks so cool, and yeah, like you said, the tentacles, so great of detail on a pop. Obviously, it's a little bit bigger than a normal size pop, but just it's still a smaller figure, so to have all those details is really cool, especially with the boat. The boat looks really, really nice. The games pops here, I'm not really going to go into much detail with them because you pretty much covered everything I was going to say, but definitely the Kratos looks pretty cool. The new Star Wars pops here, these are wicked. I love the Star Wars games, so seeing these is awesome. And yes, that Shadow Trooper with the blue, it pops so hard and it looks really good. But I also agree, Darth Revan, so much hype around that one, and you get the purple lightsaber, which is so cool. I can't wait to get my hands on that pop. Now, the Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. At first, when I seen the photo of it, I was like, this has got to be a joke. And then I realized, like, no, this is actually happening, and it just blew my mind. I think this is amazing, and it really gives me hope to see more memes kind of surface as Funko Pops, which could be pretty hard, especially with like licensing. Like, how are you going to license just a person who happened to become a meme or something like that? But this is a great way to start with Spider-Man versus Spider-Man.
I guess now we're going to move on to the top 10 Funko Pops of May 2020, in which obviously we only got to talk about up until the Kraken. The only announcements I know of that have happened after was, I think there's a pop from One Punch Man that got announced the same day, but we didn't talk about that. We'll talk about anything we missed for the month of May on next week's podcast when we bring back the segment, The Update. So let's start off like usual with MD Shady and his number 10 pick.
So I actually changed my number 10 kind of like halfway through this podcast. So originally it was going to be Silver Surfer, but I actually changed it to the Kraken because I do really like that Kraken pop, and I don't know if I'm going to end up getting any of those zombie Marvel pops. So a pop of the Kraken I'm more likely to get. So I figured it deserved that top 10 spot.
My number 10, I had chosen the EB Games / GameStop exclusive Dark Malik. There's quite a bit of hype for this, considering that we're finally getting more newer characters rather than repeats of, let's say, Boba Fett or Chewbacca, and then you make Chrome versions of them. It's very refreshing to see video game characters now. The reason why it's at number 10, though, is kind of the detail that I explained earlier. I feel like the face could have been a little bit better. And then probably out of these, like as terms to the personal reaction, I'd probably say it's the least personal reaction out of the 10 that I'm going to list here. So that's why it's at number 10.
All right, number 9 is the Edward Scissorhands with the Dino Shrub. I think that is an amazing pop. It captures kind of like, I guess, the whole movie in one pop in a sense, and it looks so amazing. I hope it's not too expensive.
My number 9, release the Kraken. Yes, my number 9 is the 6-inch Kraken exclusive to the Funko shop. So much detail involved with this pop. Clearly, there's a huge hype following behind it because of the fact that it's sold out in, I think, 5 minutes on the Funko shop. Other than that, I think, once again, it has to do with a little bit of personal reaction that makes it a little bit low on the list.
All right, moving on to number 8. I have the 10-inch Chucky. I think this thing deserves to be on this list. It makes so much sense to have it be a 10-inch pop, and I really can't wait to get it in my collection. And honestly, that's like the main reason why it made the list.
So number 8 on my list, Emily from The Corpse Bride. I think there is so much detail involved with this. The hype is super real because of the fact that, like, we haven't gotten Corpse Bride pops yet, and now we do. Emily looks more detailed, in my opinion, than Victor. The colors look really nice on it. My personal reaction, though, like, it's up there because of the detail. That's basically, it's not like more of like a personal connection, but the hype and the detail definitely is a reason why it's made it on the top 10 list.
Yeah, for sure. I really do like that pop, so that's super cool. My number 7 is the Target exclusive R2D2 from Dagobah. It's just the best R2D2 pop that has been made. So honestly, that's the reason why it made the list.
My number 7 is Wolverine in the X-Men lineup. I think Wolverine looks so good in this pop form. The hype is really cool because of the fact that, like, people have been wanting X-Men pops for so long. So that's why it's at number 7.
All right. My number 6 is the non-chase version of the Mayor. I think that looks so cool. And yeah, obviously, like you said earlier, with the megaphone, I think it looks a lot better than that like piece of paper that he has in his hand. And I really do hope that both of these versions have both faces, because I think that would just make it so much better than it already is.
My number 6 is the Box Lunch exclusive glow-in-the-dark Oogie Boogie with the spin wheel Pop Deluxe. I think the detail on it is, like you like to say a lot in this podcast, immaculate. The glow-in-the-dark is really good, and if there is more than just the Oogie Boogie with the dice that glows in the dark, if I would have known about it, it probably would have made it higher on the list. But because it's only that, that's what makes it more low. My personal reaction, because of the glow in the dark factor, is really good on this. And then, of course, the hype, because a lot of people love these new Nightmare Before Christmas pops. So that's why it's there at number 6.
That makes sense. So my number 5, all I wrote down was the Frontline Heroes. So I'm guessing you're probably going to make me choose one, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 pops.
Yeah. See, I wasn't sure if it was like a 4-pack or not, because the photo just shows
No,
like
it's
the pops, right?
yeah,
So,
it's one different pop.
you know what? I think my favorite one is the female with the like turquoise outfit.
Okay.
I think that one has the most detail out of all of them, and yeah, I really like that pop. I
Okay.
basically put it on the list because obviously everything that's going down. I just think it's a nice gesture of Funko to do, in a sense, even though it's kind of sketchy at the same time.
That's right. We are on number 5. I forgot to do the whole Booker T entrance. I don't know if it's. I guess it's better late than never. Ooh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. 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 Can you dig it, sucker? All right. Well, I mean, it's only for one number 5 because we forgot to do it before MD listed as number 5, which is female number 1. My number 5 is Transformed Adam from the Beetlejuice lineup. I think this is one of the most detailed pops of the month, which is why it made it this far into the top 5 of the top 10. The face is very cool. It's different from a lot of Funko Pops that we see. It doesn't have pop eyes. It has these really cool eyes that aren't pop eyes, not Louisiana Fast, and not a sponsor of the podcast. The outfit is really cool. And especially one of the best parts about this is those eyeballs on the fingertips. I think those are really cool.
My number 4 is kind of a sketchy pop to have on the list in the sense of I've only seen one half of it. The other half could make or break it going up or down on the list. So number 4 is Han Solo with the dead Tauntaun. And basically what I was talking about with the other half is if there's guts spilt out everywhere, then this would possibly go up on the list to a higher spot than number 4. It might make it to number 3 or even higher than that, let's say. It's sitting at a weird spot, but I do believe that it is close to where it should be on the list.
Number 4 on my list is the EB Games / GameStop exclusive Darth Revan. I've basically explained already how super detailed this pop is. The hype is super real because people are like, oh my God, Knights of the Old Republic pops. This is amazing, something new. And people are regarding some of these pops so far as the best Star Wars pops in 2020 so far. Darth Revan at number 4. And now it's MD Shady's top 3.
My number 3 is the Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. Pretty much, it's not an amazing pop in the sense of there's been better Spider-Mans, but it's just so funny and an amazing moment to capture. And like I said earlier, it's giving us a little taste, just a little taste of the memes, and I think it's so good.
My number 3 is also the Entertainment Earth exclusive Spider-Man versus Spider-Man 2-pack. Personal reaction, this made me howl. I was like, oh my God, they're capturing the meme. This is freaking amazing. And especially what makes it in the top 3 rather than, let's say, a top 5 or even somewhere in the bottom 5 is the overall presentation of the box detail and the pop itself with it, especially when you have the background that goes with the scene and you get a little clip of the scene in the back. I think it's one of the best box arts this year. Let's move on to MD Shady's top 2.
My number 2 is Darth Revan for many reasons. Of course, getting that purple lightsaber is amazing. Seeing Darth Revan as a Funko Pop is wicked as well. He's such a cool character in the Star Wars universe. It is definitely one of the better Star Wars pops that have come out in even recent years, I would go as far as saying. So that's why it made it at number 2 on my list.
My number 2 is the Common Mayor from the Nightmare Before Christmas lineup. I think the hype, it's the most hyped pop of the month because it's a re-release of a pop that is worth close to $300-$400 Funko app or PPG price, if I'm not mistaken. I think the detail, it's almost the same as the original one, but they tweaked it up a bit. But it's awesome, especially it's so high up because of the fact, like, yes, it's a mayor pop. But I think it would have been number 1 if we knew for sure that we were able to get the double face on that specific pop and if it was both of the pops.
My number 1 is a pop that you don't like, actually. My number 1 is the Target exclusive Metallic Mystique. I think that is an amazing pop. I can't wait to get it. I really hope I can get it, especially because of everything that's going on. It's definitely going to be harder to get pops from Target. I think the metallic looks so nice, and that's not something I normally say with pops. Usually metallic is really off-putting for me in most cases. But with this one, it just makes so much sense because it kind of makes her look a little slimier, which she kind of looks like in the movie anyways. So super cool.
My number 1 is one you actually mentioned before, and that is the Edward with Dino Shrub Pop Deluxe. I think this looks so great. It's the best moment in that entire movie, and it's so great. It turned out so great. This is very awesome with the detail. The hype is super real. It's definitely one of the most hyped pops. But when it comes to personal reaction, my personal reaction was huge on this. It was through the roof, and that's why it made it number one. Very difficult month to decide a top 10 list because of the amount of great pops we've actually had this month. That's going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you smash that like button to let us know that you're enjoying the content being provided to you guys on this channel, including this podcast. Comment in the comment section below on what your favorite pop of May 2020 was. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and other videos we do on this channel in the future. And press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at a Funko Popcast. It will be listed in the description below. But anyways, thank you all for listening to this podcast. And we hope to see you guys next week. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in, peace out.